Hi everybody, welcome to Deb's Way, and I'm Deb. You are here in my sewing nook area for another hashtag Friday Sews. Thanks to Jen at Today in Jen's Sewing Room for starting this collaboration, which many different sewists all over the world really have become involved in, and I am just one of them, one of many. It's become a really great sharing, learning, caring community of sewists, and I've enjoyed participating and being a participant. This year I did get involved with the Design a Girl, see if I get this right, Design a Girl Project 2022, I think is the full name of it. And I did make some little dresses for little girls, and I intend to continue with that next year. Madi, who was the lead of the project for this year, for our area anyway, the project leader, she's going to be doing it again next year, she says, so I'm in there with you, Madi, and everybody else too. She more than doubled the quantity that she did her first year. Now, it would be really fantastic if she doubled the number she made this year too for next year. We'll see. I intend to work on it monthly throughout the next year instead of waiting to, I think I got involved maybe about the second week that it started with everybody in September, and man, I was sewing like crazy, to get my dresses done, but I enjoyed it, and I'm so glad I got to participate, or that I decided that I could, sew some dresses. I had doubt in myself, only that's it. I had doubt in myself only, but I did it, and I'm glad I did. Anyway, I have mail call to discuss with you, and it's both from the same person but at different times. Now, the first mail call was a box of goodies that, yes, I've opened up. I mean, when I get mail, I open it right up. I can't wait, So this is a box that was sent from Made by Pam, and I saw this on what is your channel name, Lisa? I can't think of the channel name, and maybe it's just her name, Lisa Ann. I will link her channel below, though. She has been part of my channel for a while, and I introduced her to the sewing crowd here, and also hashtag Tea Tuesday, which she's come to participate in too. But she did an opening, a mail opening, a box opening like this, a few weeks ago, and I commented on what she got, and I just said, in my sewing class that I recently took, we discussed this certain item. And I've seen them before, but I've never used one. The instructor showed us all what they were for. Well, this was a beginning sewing class, and of course she showed us how to use them. And I thought, well, how cool. And then when I saw that Lisa Ann got something similar, I just commented on how nice that was, what a nice gift and everything. And in a comment to my comment on Lisa's channel, Made by Pam commented back to me and said, would you like a set? And I said, yeah, do you have an Etsy shop or something, let me know. And she sent me a set of the Taylor hams. Let's see if I can hold this up. This is the largest one. A Taylor's ham is what they're called. And she makes them. I don't know yet if she does an Etsy shop. I really don't know, but this thing is packed solid, very good, very well made. Thank you so much, Pam. I really do appreciate it. And this will be the first time, my using the hams here at my house. But this is the largest one. Let me show you what else came in the box. I gotta watch out. Down below here is Ginger sniffing around. I was afraid I'd hit her with the ham, but she moved out of the way. Now this one just got a little dusty from the box and that, but another kind of like a medium-sized Taylor's ham, okay? And they're tagged with a little label saying Made by Pam. Very cute. Then we come with a smaller ham. Okay. And then, which I didn't know, on the label where it says Made by Pam, on the back side of that label she put small sleeve roll. Okay. we'll see about that one. But thank you so much, Pam. I appreciate it. I now have a set of Taylor's hams like Lisa Ann has. How about that? That was very kind indeed. And then a few weeks after I received that, we were wrapping up, I shouldn't say we, but the project Dress-A-Girl was wrapping up, the drive for having the dresses mailed into Madi and for her to be able to have time to accumulate everything and get a correct count and then get them ready to be sent off for a donation. And I just made a comment that I ran out of labels this year. I ordered 5 labels from Madi because I thought, I'd be doing great if I did just 5 dresses. Well, I did 6. And so she had to sew a label on for me, which I was regretting. I'm sorry, Madi, but thank you for doing that. And I made a comment saying, yeah, you know what? Somebody else also said that they were going to be sewing a dress, at least a dress per month over the next year, so that, by the time September rolled around again, they would have 12 dresses, if not more, all ready to go, all ready to mail out. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. And I said, I'm going to be doing that too. I need to get me some labels, And Pam, at Made by Pam, said, how many labels would you like? I've got some. Well, Madi said you could print them out. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. I'm not that high tech. So Pam sent me a card, and a very lovely card, okay? And a card filled with a good dozen labels. So I have more than enough labels for next year. Thank you so much, Pam. I do appreciate it. I will be using them. And I'll show you something else in a minute here to go along with this, okay? But yeah, the Project Dress-A-Girl is, for 2022 anyway, is over for this year. And now we kind of start next year. And I have been thinking about that too. So since I wasn't really working too much back here in my sewing room this week, just doing, I did a couple of mending jobs, that's all. And I used my serger. Yes, I did. I used my serging machine, or serger. And it worked well, but I have to get used to how far under, I don't know what you call it on the serger, this part here where the needle is, how far under you put the material so that the stitch will go on the material and not cut off a lot of the material or the fabric, And I wasn't putting the fabric under that little feed dog or whatever it's called far enough so that my stitches were kind of off the fabric. You know what I'm talking about? I think some of you people do. So I have to learn how far I can put my fabric under that foot and to get a tight stitch on the fabric. But I'm coming along. I mended a pair of shorts. It was right along the seam and I took the serger to it and did it up, no problem. And I did something else too, but do you think I can remember what it was? No. Anyway, I did mending jobs, and that's all the sewing that I did for this week, but in preparation for the near future, I did do a little shopping just yesterday. Butterick patterns at Joann's went on sale for $1.99 each. And they had a bunch of other sales, on fabric and sewing supplies and that sort of thing. So I had to go. I am prepared up now for several sewing projects. I have the patterns, I have the fabric, I have the thread. I just need to get busy and sit down on my machine and sew. Let me show you what I got at Joann's the other day. Well, first of all, for the price of one Butterick pattern, which would range around, $20 to $22, something like that, I got this many patterns for that same price that I would pay for one without paying the sale price. Okay? And I got patterns that I thought I could learn from and that I would be able to do now, So, first one is B6898. Let me put these aside, they're sliding off me. B6898, and I liked the short sleeve blouse. A blouse with buttonholes. Whoa, that is going to be a challenge in the future, but yeah, that one. And then I like the cuff sleeves on this, and just the idea of using knit, like sweater type material to make a top, R1140. And I like this, the cuffs on this sweater here. So I thought, okay, I'll give that a try, but that will be down the road, I know. And then I like this as a house dress. And I have a similar one to one of these styles already. It's comfortable. I wear it around the house and the backyard all the time. Well, now I have a pattern. B6755, and it would be the short version here for the dress. So, and another top pattern. Now this one, and yep, they're both Palmer plush, and or pletch, however you say that. I am just aware of that pattern method or sewing method. Actually, it's a fitting method. I have taken a class or two. It was kind of difficult for me because it comes into fitting and doing a fitting properly. Much different from what I do now. But these patterns are the Palmer Pletch style. This one I showed you already. Wait, this one I showed you already. This one is B6846. And again, I like the short sleeve. Yeah. And then I like this dress. It is a lisette, B6567, and I like this. Now, I believe that's what you call color blocking. Am I wrong? I'm hearing that term a lot around here. To me, it's just, you know, two-tone, two colors. But I like that style of that dress. And then this top's, I saw this on Sew Carol, and I liked the cuffs of the sweater top that she made. And I thought, well, I'm going to give that a try myself. B6859, and it's this top right here. And the sleeves do have, it's a nice fitting top with cuffs on the sleeves. I like that style. Another top pattern, B6812, and I liked this one right here. Okay. And then, yes, there's a couple more here I'm going to show you. In preparation for next year's project Dress-A-Girl, I have two patterns that I picked up. This one is 3772, little girl's dress, and all the styles really, you know, I mean, they caught my eye. Now the one style, it does show that it's buttons, but I would make that as a permanent closure. Okay. And then this one is B6202, and it says it's fast and easy. Well, we'll see. Okay, little girls' dresses. And not the long dress for this little girl project. It would be any one of these. Okay. So those were the patterns that I got. And I just went to get the patterns. I really did. But, you know, on the way out of that area, I passed through the fabric display area, and I saw this, and I backed up. I literally backed up and thought, yeah, I have to have that. I saw this fabric. And this is really my color tones, I guess. I'm not a bright colored person. I don't know if it's going to come across very well. It's kind of like a slate blue and a peach, a dark peach colored, very, I don't know, what, cool tones? Yeah. Kind of has a gray tint to it too, but it is so soft. It's polyester and spandex. There's a stretch to it. I am taking a knit top class very soon here at Sewing Studio. So I'm thinking this might be the fabric that I use for that. William says, and I got enough for making a dress. He said that, yeah, that would make a very nice dress, but I want it for a top. I would get more use out of it, you know, as a top right now. So that's what I got it for. And besides that, let's see here. One moment, please. I did mention that they did have their sewing supplies on sale, and one of the supplies was their threads. I just about did a juggling act there. I bought 3 spools of thread, and this is, well, the white. I'll go through white a lot, and then kind of a medium gray, and you get 3 for free. So I got navy blue, dark brown, and a tan to build up my thread supply. This is all, well, this is for all kinds of sewing, not just cotton. I used to buy just all cotton thread because that's all I used when I was quilting. But this is for any type of project. Okay. So I bought those, and that was really it for my purchase at Joann's. It was a great sale because I also, besides getting the items on sale, had a discount coupon for getting, like, I don't know how much it was, $20 off for every, you know, $75 or $100 that you spent. I saved quite a bit. So, of course, William's line is, I could have saved more by not going, but, you know, hey, what fun is that? But anyway, sewing projects I will be working on this next week, hopefully. I've changed my mind on the pajamas, the nightgown that I'm going to make for me. I'm going to use this material. It's a lighter weight nightie. We are having chillier weather now at night, but not quite heavy enough for flannel. I will work on that next, but first of all I'm going to work on this. It's more like a cotton knit, but I'm sure it's polyester of some sort. Other than that, I've had it for a while and I don't really know what it is, but it's a perfect weight for a nightgown. So I'll be working on this for a nightgown for me and those PJ bottoms for William in this next week. I have to measure him, you know, to make those and make sure everything's okay. And in the meantime, yeah, I kind of worked on this too, but I didn't stitch it yet. This top that I made, I don't know if you can tell here in the front. Let me hold it up. I did put an insert in here, and that insert is like probably a good 3 inches long. So yeah, it's going to be a nice insert. What did somebody call it? Somebody told me it would be like a modesty insert. So anyway, that's what's been going on here for this week. Not a lot of sewing, but I did, you know, do a few odds and ends back here in my little sewing area. Hope you all had a good one out there. You take care, and I'll be talking to you again next week. But for this time, for this round, it's going to be bye for now.